Hi, everyone. My name's Coleman, and
Coleman.
and this is the first episode of Daddy and Me Cooking Show. We're really excited through this whole COVID-19 crisis. We've gotten to spend a lot of time together. Coleman, his brothers Camden and Carter, and we decided that we're going to cook some stuff, and hopefully, you can use these recipes, make your own, share what you're making that maybe you just wouldn't have time to make in the hustle and bustle of how life used to be before we were indoors and trying to figure out things to do. So today, Coleman, we are making
Coconut ice pop.
coconut ice pops. We have been meaning to make this for weeks now, so we're really excited. We get to make it. It's super easy. You just need a couple of ingredients and mostly just, are you going to stand behind me the whole time? That's what we're doing here. Uh, uh, Mostly you just need patience. So when you get everything together, you've got to stick it in the freezer and have to wait. How long, Coleman?
4 hours.
4 hours. So if you can be patient, it is going to be well worth it for our, what are they called again?
Coconut ice.
Coconut ice pop. So, Cole, why don't you show us what we need while I go check on the chicken, because the other thing that we're making tonight, chicken enchiladas, homemade chicken enchiladas that Carter wave. You see the hand over there that Carter's helping us make with the using chicken, an Instapot, and some corn tortillas. That's a whole other thing. We're going to do dessert right now. So Coleman, you show everyone the ingredients that we need while I go over here and check on the chicken. Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna need coconut and cream. You can find this at almost any store, really. And you can either use honey or syrup. And you're gonna need 1 lemon and 1 lime.
Okay. Tell me what goes first, and we'll get started.
Coconut cream goes in first.
Coconut cream goes in first. So let's move everything over. Okay. So first things first, we're going to open coconut cream. Actually, first thing is first. What's the most important thing that we do whenever we cook anything?
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. So we did already wash our hands in the kitchen sink, but that is the most important thing. Every time you cook something, whether it's something for dessert or something to eat for supper or lunch or breakfast or a snack, you always want to wash your hands. So we washed our hands, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now back to this. Most important thing we're going to do is always be careful. So using something like a can opener, you just always want to be careful around sharp objects, but we're going to take this whole can, right, and put it in our Ninja. You get that? Uh-oh. Tell you what, let's get a knife. Get a knife and open this instead of me getting my finger all in it. And then we also needed a spatula, right, to scrape. So let's grab one of those. And you want me to take this top off? See if we can leave it on. Let's just leave it on. Okay. So with coconut cream, there's always a lot of cream, obviously, but also the water. You want to get it all in as much as you can as possible. Get it off the sides there. Make sure that it's always down there, and then We're going to set that aside. All right. What's next, Cole?
Then we're gonna put the lime zest in.
Zest of lime.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things you also always want to do with your limes or lemons, and we've got both, is you want to make sure the stickers are off, and then we're going to come over to our sink. We're going to wash the skin off, especially since we are going to use the zest of it, which is really just a fancy way of saying we're going to use the skin on the outside. So we're going to take a grater. It's the best we've got. We'll go probably get one while we're still out, but we're going to take that and on the non-sharp side, or on the sharp side, we're just going to grate. Just move it back and forth until we get that skin and that zest. It's going to smell really good. It smells like one of Mommy's candles, right?
Yeah.
But you just go back and forth. And how much zest do we need? Just zest of one whole one?
Yes.
Depends on how limey you want it. So we're going to continue to do that. While I'm doing this, why don't you tell us what comes next?
Then we're gonna open up a lemon and put the juice in there.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish this. Why don't you go wash off that lemon, and then we're gonna show you an easy way to get the juice out of the lemon, especially if you don't have a juicer. We don't have a juicer either. You would have thought we would have gotten all the stuff that we needed, but here's the great thing about when you're in the kitchen. There's almost always another way to do everything in a kitchen. So what do you think? Is that enough?
Yeah.
You want it really limey?
No.
Or just a little limey?
That's good.
All right. I will tell you just from personal experience with limes, in a life that was long time before I became a daddy, you can't go wrong with limes. Now, we're gonna roll this around. I don't know why we really roll this around. I've just always been told that's what we're supposed to do. So you roll it around, and then we're gonna take our let's get another knife. Let's get this knife. And just really quickly, we're going to cut it in half. And do we need the juice from a whole lemon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So really quickly, what you want to do is actually, yeah. So lemons, any kind of fruit like this is going to have some seeds in it. You obviously don't want the seeds in your popsicle. That's just not going to be so good. It's what now?
It could be nasty.
It's going to be nasty. So what you want to do is put your thumb on the side right here and kind of grab it like that and use your hands as a strainer and then, or your fingers as a strainer, and then you just push in. And what ends up happening is the juice, I guess we can kind of show you, the juice comes out. But as your hands are there, it's protecting from any of the seeds getting in. So you get all the benefits of the juice with none of the worry about the seeds coming out. And if some do come out, you always do want to just take a look around and make sure. But I'll tell you, by the time we process this thing up, if we've missed one, it's going to be just a lovely part of it. You want to do it? You want to try it? No? Okay. See, daddies still have to do everything. So we're going to do that. Oh, sorry. He wants me to get over here too. So we're going to do the same thing over here. Coleman, why don't you tell us what we need next? What else is on deck?
After that, we are going to blend it.
All right. So do we need to put the honey in yet?
Oh, yeah, we do.
See? So how much honey do we need to put in?
Just about that can go around at least twice.
So my guess is that is not what the directions say at all, but he is my son, so he's just going to do it till it feels right. About right on that?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. You'll find a lot of the recipes that we make in this house, unless they're cooking with their mom, we don't really follow directions. You don't laugh at that? Good. We don't really follow the directions. We just kind of do how we would say at church, do what the Spirit wants us to do, right?
Hmm.
So uh, we should also say that Coleman is on track to be a bear. So he's going to put a lot of honey in there because he's on track to be a bear. So why don't you put a little more in there just to be on the safe side?
Who's a bear now?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm also raising a comedian and smart aleck, so that's always fun. Now here's a serious reason though that you can kind of be generous with how much honey you put in. At the end of the day, you've got this is a bit of science stuff, and I'm not even a science person. These your lemon and your lime have a lot of acid in it, and so when you have acid in something, you want a counterbalance, and sometimes that counterbalance is going to be salty and acidy, or sometimes it's going to be sweet and that acid. And when you kind of level both of those things out, you get a really nice flavor that's not too sour, but not too sweet. It's kind of just right, right?
Right.
So here's one more thing. So do we want to put a banana in this, or do you just want a coconut lime lemon taste, or do you want like a truly tropical taste?
Just coconut.
Okay, so we're just going to do coconut. What the reason I'm asking that, and one of the things that I always say in both cooking, for the most part, and art is what's the best rule in art? In
There
art, there are no.
mistakes.
So in art, there are no mistakes. In cooking, there can be mistakes, but oftentimes, if you get kind of the recipe right, like we just did, you can add things like strawberries and lemons and or strawberries or bananas or things like that that kind of give it that tropical taste. So this is going to be a coconut kind of lime version of it, but if you put a banana in there, it's going to taste kind of like a pina colada. If you put a strawberry in there, it's going to be strawberry and lime and coconut. Anywhere you go, it's going to be a tropical treat, especially on hot days like today. So, what's next?
Blending.
Now we blend it. Do we need ice or anything like that in here beforehand? Nope. All right. So, the directions say to use a food processor. We have a food processor on top. Let's see if we can show it. On top of the refrigerator. We are just too lazy to get it down. The Ninja was already out. No, it wasn't out, but it was closer, right?
Yeah.
It was closer. So, what are you going to do? So, Coleman, if you want to do the honors. And now we're blending. So now, Cole, is there where do we stop blending? Like, do we just want it to be um, all together, or what's the rule that you want to follow when we're blending? As I get the computer back.
The rule when you blend is when you do it, there's sometimes where there's stuff left out that you want to blend again, or there's times where you want to just leave it in there because you just don't want to do it.
Did y'all get that? Yeah. Okay. What he's basically saying is, and you're not wrong, is you want to blend it like you want everything to be properly blended. You don't want to overdo it because that won't necessarily be good. But then you can just kind of go around and make sure that that everything is kind of blended in. And the easiest way to do it with something like this is just take it out and see if you've got any kind of chunks of anything on there. We don't have any chunks of anything. We just have a couple of pieces of that lime. But once it's frozen, it's going to be really good too. So so we've got that. This is the best part of when you do your own kind of cooking thing. You get a spoon that we're going to steal from Coleman's 2-year-old brother. And we're going to dip it in here. And first taste goes to you.
That tastes
Does it
good.
taste good? So do we need to add any more honey or anything like that? Is it good to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna do a little taste test too.
Sweet.
Oh, that's That's good. That's good. Okay, so now that we've got that how we want it, we're going to take this out. And last but certainly not least, we'll take this out too. That way when we pour, there's nothing in the way there. Last but not least, we have our molds. This is a really cool buy that we found, I think, at Kroger for a couple of dollars. May have only been $1. We broke the side, but everything else still works. We lost one of the things, so you work with what you got. So so we've washed this out, we've cleaned it out. I'm going to take these off. See, they're really easy to pull off. And then we'll pour in just a minute.
And also you can use cups and get popsicle sticks, which he hates.
I hate popsicle sticks with a passion. That's why we're using these.
And you can put those into a cup and then put them in the freezer.
Do yourself a favor. You don't really want to touch popsicle sticks. You don't. You just get these. These are just cleaner and they're reusable and not as gross. Popsicle stick. All right. You want to pour?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to pour enough to make sure that there's enough in all of them. You don't want to pour too much in because remember we still got to put the tops on. That may be a little too much, buddy, but we'll find out here in a minute. You want to pour enough where you get a lot in there, but enough that it also doesn't overflow when you put the lids on. Because then it won't close all the way and it'll spill and all kinds of other stuff. But well, no, don't put one because we're missing one. So we got enough left over to make a little tropical drink or something like that. So we'll put a little more in there, and then Cole's gonna put those tops on now. Watch this. We're gonna see how this closes. Let's see if Coleman was right or Dad was right. We're both going to declare victory on that. It's on there. It's just going to be a little messy. The great thing about a little messy in the kitchen, watch, we're gonna go around each other here, is as long as you clean it up, a little mess never hurt anything. I'm usually the one that has to clean it up. He gets that honestly though. So I'm gonna wipe that off. Also, what I try to teach my kids is that presentation is everything. So whether we're making something like this or we're making pizza or French toast, you want to always make sure that how you prepare it and how you serve it makes people feel really special. With so much going on in the world, in our own homes, even outside of the home, especially outside of the home, but in our homes, we always want people to feel welcomed and loved and appreciated. And when you cook a meal for someone, and I cook a lot of meals in the house, and Coleman is learning too, and Carter is learning as well. We want to put a lot of care into it. We also, when we cook it, we also want to put a lot of care into it when we serve it. So it sounds like a small thing to clean these off and to make sure that everything looks good. But when Coleman and his brothers enjoy this, and maybe mommy and daddy, if there are any left, we want it always to look good. So there we go. Now, Coleman, you want to go open the refrigerator or the freezer? I'm gonna walk over to the freezer here. I'm gonna make some room. We've already done that, and I'm gonna follow you while you place them in there. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna place them in the freezer. No one really laugh at our freezer. It's really full, which is also a blessing, but it also means, there we go. You got them in the picture yet?
Yeah.
There we go. So we got them nice and neat in there. Now we're gonna close the freezer. And now we wait. We wait and we wait. How long are we waiting, son?
4 hours.
We're gonna wait 4 hours. So We're gonna sign off for right now. We'll come back in 4 hours, check it out, see how they look, how they taste. We're able to get them out of the
Yeah.
container. All kinds of things that you're going to find out here in just a few short hours. So until next time, it's good to see you. We'll come back when we have our treats.
Okay.
Bye. So welcome back. We have been waiting. It is now dark outside, but we did it. So if you'll remember, we last time we were all together, we put the coconut cream and lime and lemon mixture in these, and now after waiting, they've been in the freezer. We've taken one out. Coleman, you want to show?
Mm-hmm.
And we now have.
Frozen coconut ice pop.
How does it taste?
Gonna taste good.
Is it gonna taste? Let's see. Tastes like summer?
Yeah.
All right. That tastes like summer. So we'll put together the recipe and we'll put it on with the video. And we hope to see you next time on the next episode of Daddy and Me
Cooking show.
Bye.
Oh boy.